You know what it is.
I was just going to say that. That's so
that's
scary.
True.
No, that exact statement went through my mind right before you said it. We have the same brain.
Oh my god, I'm in a blanket. I need comfort and joy right now after this.
No! No! Hold on, there's a hole in my god. We have to stop being friends. Wait, Taylor, we need to take a breather. That's what it is. We need to take a breather. Cancel our Degrassi date? No, like a few days. Hold on, there's a hole in my heart. I'm just so affected by what I just saw. Alright, let's start from the beginning.
Okay.
Eli's running.
He was very happy.
He was overjoyed to see his comics.
Then he goes up to Claire, another awkward, like, back huggy type.
And
they love the back hug.
It was a creepy approach. Like, I know some crazy people.
Yeah.
And I almost feel like even crazy people have normalcies. It's almost like he's trying a little too hard to appear crazy. Like, he was like, look at this. And I was like, okay. But then Claire wasn't very pleased.
Yeah. She was just like, ouch, stingy from the beginning. And I was like, hey, what's with the ouchiness towards Eli? This is what we were talking about also. Like, I guess there's a reason why Claire is this way. Like, if you think about it logically, if a normal person thought their boyfriend, who was Monroe Chambers, or Eli, or whoever, wrote a story that they were based on the character, and he slices your throat and drinks your blood and whatever. Okay. Yeah, I guess you could have a problem and want some space. For me, you guys know this. If it were Alex or me in that same situation.
He's tweeting right now, by the way.
Of course he
I
is.
just had to say that. Coincidence?
You know we'd be fine. You know we'd be fine with it.
We'd grin and bear it.
We'd be like, oh, you're gonna kill it? Okay. Well, it's fine.
Cut my throat and drink my blood?
It's totally fine. I'll accept it.
Slit my wrists and black my eyes?
Exactly. It'd be fine.
I'd be okay.
I'd be fine with it as long as I got some quality time with Eli beforehand.
And we've got more to say about that, but
yeah.
we're gonna move on for a second.
Sav and Holly J playing Boggle.
We were like, is that a great Canadian pastime?
Yeah, I mean, like,
are you 5? I felt like it was because they were trying to like send underlying messages through the words that Holly J made.
True,
I felt like because she was like unhappy and like all these other words that were like basically I want to dump
like,
Sav.
Love and smiles and cupcakes.
And the whole time she's like, I want to dump Sav, and he's like it's all about you, Holly J.
Exactly. Basically, in this episode, all the boyfriends were like, it's all about you, and all the girlfriends were like, no.
And they had this scene with Annie Clark and Samantha Monroe and Charlotte Arnold in the classroom. It was just all kinds of awkward. Holly J was writing down the pros and cons of Sav. The one con was that he just wasn't like doing it for her, and I was like, of course, because you
Declan.
Or with Declan. Oh, okay. Whatever. And then the whole time she's basically like, okay, how can I break up with Sav? And then when she presented herself to the Bandari mom, I was like, at first I was like, wait, did you actually think he was gonna tell his mom about you? And then I thought about it and I was like, oh, you're trying to get the kick out the door.
And then I was like, sick burn, Holly J. I mean, not that I love her and Sav together, but I'm just saying, like,
it was cunning. It was like,
it was clever, but I was like, ouch.
The worst part is when he's like, I stood up for you and my parents love you, and she's like, I'm sorry, but I think our expiration date is up. And I'm like,
ooh, great way to put it. She made it sound like it was like milk that had been in the fridge for too long, and I was like, ooh.
You know what's touchy about it? Like, they got so close. We know she made a reference saying that they never were physical. Like, physical. Mm-hmm. But the issue of it was that he was there for her through her sickness, and that really sucks. Burn.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Sav. Like, it just never works out for you. Oh, she's like talking about breaking up with Sav. She's like, I've done it like 6 times. And I'm like, yeah, you have.
Anya's like, listen, I've counseled Gay Riley already. And I talked him through the whole relationship with Gay Zane. I know what this is. Anya is so there for... She should just be like the, what's that club called? LGBT
advisor.
She should be in charge of LGBT.
You know what the weird thing is? Like, Fiona and Declan are both in love with Holly J. And I'm interested to see if, like, they ever, like, duke it out. Like, in coins, duke it out for Holly J. And then, but, like, obviously she's gonna end up, I mean, as long as they don't bring anyone else in to the picture. But obviously she's gonna end up with Declan. But then, like, this girl that's in love with her and is also her best friend is gonna be her sister-in-law.
Oh.
Like, what?
All kinds.
Freaky. Like, I don't even know.
Jenna had a nice pregnancy shirt on today.
Yeah, it's funny how I was like, I actually like her pregnant wardrobe better than her regular clothing.
The last episode, she was just kind of like, I'm pregnant and I'm Jenna and I'm singing and I'm great. And then this episode, it was like, I'm pregnant and I'm Jenna and I'm killing everyone. Like,
and he was
really
like, you told me to play basketball.
That was the best.
Holly, J and Sav.
Yeah, the breakup at the dot. It was
You've
awful.
expired.
What a great pan into the next part of the scene, though.
Because
it's
so
like,
funny.
We should break up, and then Sav's like, and then it just goes, and it goes over to the other, like, scene going on behind them with Anya and Fiona. I was like, that is fantastic.
Earlier classroom scene with Anya, Fiona, and Holly J. Fiona had, like, the declarative line, and she was like, I'm gay. And then, like, I was like, oh, good, I'm so happy she's, like, saying this. So back to E. Claire. Okay, I'm gonna talk about this. The fact that I've been thinking about why she feels like they're not meant to be together, which we know she says in the next episode. And he did make, like, a couple of comments, like, oh, you want to go to a gathering where there's top 40 and, like, stupid things, and then he, like,
the song on the radio when they're in the woods.
Yeah,
too.
And, like, those two things happened, and I was like, are those part of her reasoning, like, for them being too different? Even though they went to the last Degrassi dance.
Right, and he even says to Adam, he's like, the things that, you know, my jokes, like, she doesn't think they're funny anymore. So, like, I always just think he's joking about stuff like that, and she's all of a sudden, like, everything's so serious.
Yeah, it seems she's changing, and I feel like part of that is because she does feel suffocated because he's getting serious so quickly. Okay with it.
It's hard for me to relate to this. I'm like, Claire, what are you doing? So,
then when we have the scene with Bullfrog, Eli, and Helen Edwards... First of all, okay, we were watching it on TiVo, obviously, because it's late, but, so I was pausing a lot, and I paused, like, I saw Bullfrog, Eli, and Helen, and I went, hold up, and I turned to Taylor, and I said, Taylor, what is this?
She got scared for a moment. I was like, no, I know what this is.
Because you know the first thing that comes into your mind when you see that.
Well, because Alex pauses it, he goes, I'd like to propose something to, or like, I'd like to ask for your permission or something like that, and she just goes, what is he gonna do? And I was like, chill out. I think he's gonna ask if she can go away. Just chill out. But she freaked. It was a scene for a moment.
It was just seeing parents being collaborated is crazy.
I love it. It's so good.
And it's always the Edwards parents because of their daughters. It's always the Edwards parents and the parents involved with their daughters. Yeah. Boyfriends. Like, it's like, it's so funny. So I saw the three of them and I freaked out.
We paused it on Mrs. Edwards' face.
And her face, she was like...
She wanted him dead. She was like...
Exactly. So then he asks for permission and I was like, oh, that's so sweet. And... Mrs. Edwards still wasn't very happy about it, but Eli was determined. He was like, I'm gonna get this to work. The dancing scene in the woods.
We knew she was dancing. We knew it.
Yeah, we told you guys. We saw in the Much Music promo she was dancing. I don't know.
We were saying they were storming away.
I don't know how basically doing heel clicks and doing the pony looks like storming away to you.
We knew. I knew that pony.
We've done enough ponies in our day.
I even demonstrated.
And we're wondering, did Aislinn Paul hate filming that scene?
Because I know I would have hated it. Like, I would have been like...
Also, in the woods scene, when they first start panning over to the hearse, if you notice, you see the Eli-Julia heart on the wall in the abandoned church, and we were like,
supposed to be shown.
Wait a second. That happens later. And I'm also wondering, like, how is it possible that nobody saw that during the whole party scene?
Who is it? I see a smile.
It's the cast of Degrassi. The hearse scene when Eli tells Claire that he wants to go to Bloomington with her.
His eyes looked like freaking glistening pools in this episode. Angels and beauty. Like,
and
they
his
were just
hair
like,
is getting like softer and softer.
it looks like it's a wig now. Like, it's just like this flowing, voluptuous.
It's
like,
pretty. It looks like he
wind in his
smells
hair.
good. He tells Claire about that, and she's not so happy about it. She's a little upset.
He was excitement into like just downward sadness was so sad and so cute.
He's like, I just wanted to do something for my girl, and I was like, oh,
you can do something for this
nobody
girl.
speaks to me that way.
Exactly.
And she just wasn't having it. And
Yeah,
she's like, we're going. Isn't that okay?
And
I mean, I get it, Claire. I get you're your own person. I understand. You're an independent female. I know.
Hi.
And he's been absolutely crazy. I get it. I'm not saying that you're being wrong about this, because I get it.
But look at your man.
I know.
Look at me. Now back to your man. Now back at me. What are you doing? What are you doing, Claire Edwards? I can't. I'm losing my mind right now. What are...
Now at me. Now back at your man.
Now just look at him. Just keep looking at him now. What are you doing?
I think she's spoiled. Oh, Claire, you might be a little spoiled.
She needs a sassy gay friend.
Let's get to, like, my favorite part of the episode.
Mine too.
Oh my god. The hunting scene.
Can I just say, I called it. I said he was hunting possums. How close was I? It was a wild turkey, but it was close enough, and that was before we saw the promo picture. It was when I saw that gun, I knew it. Best scene ever.
When you first see them all laying on the ground, it's just because it's so out of left field. Like, why would you ever think, like, do people go hunting in the woods of Toronto? Does that happen?
I mean, I know we have hunting here. I guess
you can.
It's so like.
I guess there's hunting. I guess there's hunting everywhere, but it was so strange.
Like, people don't even really hunt in New Jersey.
We live sheltered lives. We don't know, but
I can't imagine there being hunting in Toronto.
A, that's hilarious. B, Bullfrog is actually my favorite character on the show.
Yeah, forget the students.
Ever. Like, Bullfrog, you are the best. At the end of the scene.
Yeah, it's like a completely like serious Adam Eli talk going on with them in their little orange hats.
It was cute. It was cute. It was like, ugh. I wish you did more things like that. And Eli's like, after 2 days in the hearse, it'll be better. And I was like, ooh.
Got it.
Yeah.
Bullfrog just goes, got it.
And I said to Taylor, oh my god, he's like Canadian Dan Connor. For any of you who grew up watching Roseanne, we're big Roseanne fans. Dan Connor is Roseanne's husband, played by John Goodman.
Yeah, he's
just the best TV dad ever. Bullfrog is the Canadian him. Got it. It was just brilliantly funny. When
the episode is like too intense, or like there are so many things going on that I'm dying, I like those scenes where I'm just like, this is okay.
Anyway, Eli's freaking out about Claire. He was like, me, you, Morty, alone time, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, wait a second. It's you, her, and Morty right now, and it's alone time, and you're having a terrible time. So maybe you should work on that.
Yeah.
And that brings us to the final scene of the episode, you guys. Our mouths actually dropped and hit the floor. And it wasn't that, like, we knew that this was coming, and we knew exactly what was going to happen, but his representation...
The acting in this episode by him at the very end, that last scene, was like Oscar-worthy. Like, good lord, somebody get this kid a major motion picture. Desperation in the voice and the sadness and the I was just like, there was so much in so little words. And where did they get that gigantic picture from? It was
how come we've never seen that before? We've never seen a blown up photo of them. Another thing, when Claire does break it off with him on the bench, and she's talking about how, you know, he's doing this and it's all about Julia and he's not over her yet. I really sincerely believe that it's really not about Julia. Like, I think that is in the back of it. Of course, how could you not carry that with you for the rest of your life? But
acceptable. That's acceptable.
But it honestly was spontaneous. It wasn't on purpose. And he was
No.
like, I swear. And I was like, oh my God.
I believe you. You can take me to the horror thingy. I'm fine with that.
And you guys, you know that if I for 1 second thought that the truth was that it was all about Julia, and I'm not saying it's not, I'm saying it partially is, but that the trip was a spontaneous thing, I would be like, oh, Eli's cray-cray. But no, that's not how it is.
But I feel like Claire has got to take a chill pill and stop being a biznatch.
I brought you together and I can take you out of this world sort of thing. What's not making sense to me right now is his crazy behavior from the Jesus Etc. episodes and the little behavioral things he did in this episode when he wasn't sappy and heartbroken. It's not making a connection for me yet. So I'm feeling that the breakup isn't exactly justified. So like right now I'm like I'm not okay with it, but I don't have closure or understanding of why it's actually happening.
Right now, the way they left it off is like, is Eli really that crazy, or is Claire just being nasty? Like,
or is it both?
Or is it a bit of both? I mean, it could
I
be
think it's a combination. The hype
much.
of this episode online was so tangible. Like, it was radiating from my electronic devices. I was offering Degrassi therapy sessions today, and I was like, children of Degrassi, come at me, tell me your problems, like, lay on my couch, like, talk to me, because I know you guys need help, and it's totally okay. I have a lot of feelings about this episode.
I don't know, I just have a lot of feelings.
Honestly, there were so many things going on in this short episode. Like, a lot happened. It was killer. Like, it was
so
like,
good.
I felt like I was watching a movie.
He was so, like...
Robert De Niro.
Oh, yeah. He was so, like... He was so hot. Yeah. I was like, you're rageful, but it doesn't take away from any of you. You're just so hot.
When you've mastered the art of looking good while being sinister.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
The fact that you can cry and look like an angel. I
feel like I need about 10 more episodes of this, because it hasn't been enough. For the degree of this plot line between Eli and Claire and the craziness, it's not enough.
They need a whole episode just themselves. There was a lot of things going on in this episode, too. I was like, I know we saw them a lot, but I was just like, this is a lot. I feel like everything's really important, and it's all in one episode what's happening. Honestly,
the biggest mistake they ever made was not making them at least a C-plot in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It just had to happen. We're a little confused, and we've only got one left.
Yeah. Also, this episode to me felt... We were talking about this while the episode was on. It felt so different than the others. It was like, I felt like I was watching like Degrassi Takes Manhattan or something. Like it wasn't a part of the real season. It was just because it was so different. Like they were barely in school. This is just like in Jesus Etc. When we watched it and we said they're barely in school. They're all over Toronto. Like it's like trickling away from Degrassi, which is like the core of the show. But it's more than that now. Yeah, it really is like a soap opera. I'm sorry, like it really... We can believe it. Yeah, Steven told us we're allowed.
We can be it if we believe it.
Yeah.
Congratulations on your success in teen drama. I feel like it's going to be a wild ride. And love is a wild ride, my friend.
Yeah. Steven, when you're able to do this to us, your job is done. You've killed me. I need ramen and Snapple and to think about my life because I just watched this.
Wow. We haven't watched the promo yet, so...
This will be part uno.
Did you get the tissues? She thinks I'm kidding.
No, no, that's the thing. I don't think you're kidding. Go in the bathroom, get the tissues, get ready.
I have to go get tissues. I'm not ready.